Okay, what do y'all say we finally put the cylinder head back on the truck? We got a few things I got to do first that I didn't even think of until I was prepping up ready to get this heavy son of a gun out there. One of which was I need to go chase the threads on the block, make sure all the nasty gunk, any fluids, whatever is out of there. I'll also probably go ahead and install, before I go out there, the spark plugs, just so I don't have to be leaning over the engine. I'll gap them to 0.44, and I'm sure that's probably not the right way to do it, but I don't feel like trying to get in there and gap them and reinstall them. And it doesn't seem to hurt, doesn't look like they're in the way so of the old one. So let's get these done. Let me get you set up to a spot you can see, and we're going to try and power through this today. And I'm going to put a little anti-seize on them too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll torque them, I don't know, I guess 20, because it's between 17 and 22 foot-pounds. Okay, let's go chase some threads, get this thing ready to be put on. So I went and got this thread chaser, rented that little tool to run down all 14 of these holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of them look kind of gunky, some of them don't. Alright, this is going to get tedious because all I'm going to do is walk it all the way down. Okay, so I'll come back when I get to the last 2. Okay, I lied, but y'all are going to have to stay out of the way. I am about halfway into it. I'm getting the best I can out of them, but there's a little bit of carbon deposits. The brake clean is knocking it down pretty good. The compressed air is blowing it out, and the thread chaser is getting some stuff out. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. So I'm probably about halfway through now, and I got 2, 4, well, a little over halfway. This is my 7th one. That would be half. So I'll let you see this, even though I left my light and I'm in the middle of the engine bay. Hopefully you can see this. They're coming out actually real clean. These back 2 are the ones I'm worried about. That's not bad. Pretty clean. Okay, it is cleaned as best as we can get it cleaned. Time to put gasket on. Now the gaskets can go on one way because you're going to fit your ridges here, and the block is actually shaped to form it. So put your sleeve through that and just fit it down. You see how these fit right here? Keep my hands as clean as possible with this part, and that is how she lays. Okay. That was the easy part. Like I said, this gasket's only going to fit on one way. You can see the block actually comes up, and here's where the lips are, front and back. And you got to line up all coolant holes, stud bolts, everything, including this part. Well, now it's time for the fun. Okay, this gasket looks nice and centered. Making sure I got a good camera angle because I get one shot at this. Can y'all see? Hope so. Ooh, I don't think I can do it this way. If I get in close enough. It's not that it's so heavy, it's that you're so confined in here. and there's nothing to grab. Oh, I'm gonna drop it like that. If I could get over this thing. You know when people say they hate GoPro? Today is going to be my first time to say, I hate this GoPro. I had a phone call that stopped my phone, and I kept going, and I figured out how to get the cylinder head on. And I've been working on the cylinder head, and even torqued it down, the whole time thinking that my camera was running. I've been working on this job for a month, trying to make sure I get all the footage on here, because it's kind of fun to make them for YouTube, and then I didn't get the most important part. So what I ended up doing was using an eye bolt, and I used this as a handle because I couldn't get in there, and I had another one in the back, and just lifted it straight onto that gasket with a clean surface, and it fit perfectly on. Dropped in the studs all the way through, just got them snug. Went into their pattern of the tightening sequence, which is like a 1 to 2, down to 3, up to 4, down to 5, up to 6, down to 7, up to 8, down to 9, up to 10, down to 11, up to 12, down to 13, finishing up with 14 in the back. And the torque spec is 55 foot-pounds up to 65 up to 85. So you tighten them once in that order, tighten them a second time up to 65 foot-pounds in that order, and then you tighten them the third and final time to 85 in that same order I pointed out. We missed the money shot, boys. I don't think I could be more disappointed right now. But as you see, it's on, and I'm actually starting to put the push rods in, and I was going to put the fulcrums and rocker arms and everything back into place and torque those down so I could put the valve cover on today. Let's get back to that, I guess. Let's start sliding these in here. We already put the first two in. Let's just start dropping them in. Okay, push rods installed. Okay, I'm just kind of trying to test fit and make sure I'm doing this right. So what I'm doing is coming in here, making sure they get in their seat, right? Tip of this to this, and we're threading them in here. And I have to look up the torque specs. I thought it was 30, but don't hold me to that. The torque spec on these is going to be between 17 to 23 foot-pounds. I kind of tagged these for where they came off originally, so I'm just going to put them back in that same spot. I probably should have done this before I put the head on. Working our way all the way to the back. This is the 6th. Everything's seated, so we can tighten these guys down. Okay. Well, we're torqued. What do you say we put a valve cover on? Here's the new gasket. We have to do ridges down so it holds itself in place. Okay, now it's going to be straight on one edge over here, and it fits to this side on the other. As you can see, it's only going to go on one way, right? Form around that ridge. We've already kind of cleaned it anyway, and we're going to put the valve cover right on top, and then start putting the bolts in here. And the torque spec on these bolts is real low. It's like 7 foot-pounds. So let's get the valve cover placed on top and start putting this, the bolts in. It's gonna be kind of hard to see. Of course, the valve cover is all the way. We made sure to wipe this all down. We cleaned the best we could. It's all done but the crying now. Nice and smooth. The very back of the valve cover was that one stud. The rest of them are just plain bolts. They don't get torqued down very hard at all. So I'm just gonna finger tighten them in right now, try to get the thread started. And this was not a very good paint job I did on this valve cover, but it's better than it was. But I couldn't get the old paint off without a, basically I didn't want to, so it's painted as is. Good. 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 Okay. Valve cover is on. While we're here, we'll put this new grommet in for the, or is that this one? Just get 2 of them. PCV. Okay. I need to get another one of these grommets for up here. Cylinder head on, torqued. Valve cover on, torqued. I don't know. What do y'all think? Took about 2.5 hours with shooting. Well, there you have it. We got the cylinder head on and the valve cover on. Everything's torqued to spec. Very nerve-wracking because I kept undoing and redoing everything to make sure that the torque wrench was reading right, because it seemed like it would catch. And I mean, that's what I get for buying one of those cheap ones, but it's all I had and I needed to get it on today. As you know, this job has taken way longer than it should have, but that's the price you pay for trying to film it, edit it, and put it on YouTube. Real quick, please read the description below. Check out the channels that I'm listing. They're great to watch. Next time we'll try to get the exhaust manifolds and everything put back on there, and hopefully make some real good progress. And we're inching closer and closer to getting this thing done. As always, if you watch it to the end, I do appreciate it, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye. This thing is kicking my ass.